Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. This is Ink Trips, where I do travel documentaries with a difference. I'll take you on a journey through art and anecdote, sketches and stories, illustration and... Make yourself comfortable, grab yourself a drink. I've got my plain water served in a ginger beer container. Today we're heading to the vibrant city of New Orleans, Louisiana. Unlike in my previous videos, unfortunately I don't have many photos or videos from this trip. Maybe I was drunk the whole time, but the few photos that I do have, I promise I will share in this video. What I've done is I've peppered in some souvenirs from my time there. So I wonder if you can find all of them throughout this video. There's 10 of them altogether. Let me know in the comments how you go. And if you find all of them, great. I can't say there's a prize coming your way, but you'll have a special place in my heart. And that's about all anyone can ask from me right now. Actually, I've just decided that if anyone does find all of the 10 souvenirs hidden throughout this video, I will let you nominate our next destination for Ink Trips, as well as plan our itinerary for that destination. Happy hunting! As always, we're going to prepare a rough itinerary for our trip. We'll want to have a wander through the French Quarter. In Jackson Square, we're going to stop in front of the St. Louis Cathedral. Also in the square, we're going to get our tarot cards and palms read. We're going to venture out of the city and onto the waterways on not one but two boat trips. First to the bayous to learn about biodiversity, or bayou diversity, and secondly to enjoy a jazz river cruise on Steamboat Natchez. And away we go. The French Quarter of New Orleans extends from Canal Street down 13 blocks to Esplanade Avenue, and inland from the Mississippi River to North Rampart Street. It's here in the French Quarter where tourists and locals will come to enjoy live music, Cajun dining, French markets, and a little bit of black magic. Of course, I can't talk about New Orleans without mentioning Mardi Gras, and as an Australian, I had always known Mardi Gras to be Sydney's gay and lesbian pride parade, but in New Orleans it's actually got a more religious history, which was really mind-blowing for me. Parading through the streets of the French Quarter has been an annual tradition in New Orleans since the 1700s and takes place during the weeks leading up to Shrove Tuesday. I wasn't around for the actual Mardi Gras parades and celebrations, but I'm inclined to think that this is something that occurs all throughout the year, because in September there were still parades going on, and so my friend and I even joined in. You'll see people on balconies throwing things into the parades, beads among other things. And in my research for this video I discovered that the colors of these beads actually represent different Christian or Catholic values. Ever so slightly off-center of the city is St. Louis Cathedral, which has faced its fair share of devastation in the past, surviving not only the Great New Orleans Fire of 1788, a bombing in 1909, and most recently Hurricane Katrina in 2005, this is the oldest cathedral in continuous use in all of America. Lying in the shadow of the cathedral is a rather unassuming gypsy tent, and underneath that canvas sits Gypsy Amara. As it turns out, if you're looking for someone to do your tarot card reading, the secret is to not look for them, because they will find you. I was with my friend Holly and her friend Rock in Jackson Square one night when I thought to myself, I really want to get my fortune told. I've never done it before and I'm really curious to have it done. So I went out there with that being my only intention. And I remember feeling really disappointed because every gypsy tent was occupied and I didn't want to wait in line behind someone else. So when we got to what I thought was the last available fortune teller, I was ready to turn around and go to a bar or whatever, until a somewhat croaky voice called out to me and said, "Hey, sit down. Get your cards read." Of course, she didn't sound like that, but I remember quite vividly that she almost appeared out of nowhere, as if I had manifested her through these intentions. I don't really remember what she looked like or even half of the things that she told me, but what I do remember are these 3 key things. Number 1, you're a queen. In tarot lore, a queen can be considered as one of the most powerful figures because they influence without anyone realizing. There's a queen for every suit, so cups, swords, pentacles, and wands. And although I'm drawing the Queen of Pentacles here, after reading about all of the different queens, I think I would identify best with the Queen of Cups. Number 2, meditate, don't medicate. I should never get those two mixed up. And number 3, well, she told me at which age I would meet my end, and I'm a little bit superstitious, so I'm not going to say that on camera. Okay, we've had enough of the city for now. It's been a bit overwhelming, and we're going to head out now to the bayou. Bayou, of course, is a fancier way of saying swamp, and these wetlands are an important hotspot for biodiversity. This is where we're going to find alligators, of which the state of Louisiana boasts a population of 2 million, I believe. This is also where we're going to get swarmed by mayflies, aquatic insects that are most active, as the name suggests, in June. This is also where we're going to encounter water-type Pokemon such as Magikarp and Slowpoke. That's right, those photos I mentioned I'd share earlier on in this video are actually screenshots from the summer of Pokemon Go. Now we're going to jump ship to the Steamboat Natchez for a Jazz River cruise on the Mississippi River. The Steamboat Natchez is the only one of its kind in New Orleans. Aside from having her name printed on her side, the Natchez is identifiable by her big red paddle wheel and is one of only 2 steam-powered paddle wheelers on the Mississippi River. It takes passengers along the Mississippi River to enjoy their lunch or dinner to a soundtrack of local artists. Speaking of local artists, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the iconic Blue Dog of New Orleans. This furry friend was made famous by George Rodriguez, who was inspired by his own dog Tiffany as well as a werewolf-like creature in Cajun mythology. You'll see her in advertising campaigns for Absolute Vodka, Xerox, and is almost required on posters for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festivals. Okay, I'm afraid that just about wraps up today's ink trip, which is a shame because there's a lot more to see and do in New Orleans. But of course, I encourage you to visit New Orleans when the world opens up again, because it truly is a fun city and you can just be yourself there. There's absolutely no shame whatsoever. Let's take a look back at our itinerary to see how we did. I hope you enjoyed this ink trip, and as always, I really appreciate your viewership, your comments, your feedback, your thumbs. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing. It would really help to grow my channel. Hit the bell icon as well, that way YouTube will notify you when I have a new video, because as much as I try to stick to a schedule, I can't right now. Every video is just a lot more work than I anticipate in the beginning. And in case you don't know, I'm also available on Instagram at inktrips, where I post clues to our next destination. For those of you who've been with me from the very beginning, so about a month now, in case you're wondering, I still haven't found a job. It's really not that simple nowadays. And I've made a decision that if I haven't got a job by the end of this year, I'm going to join the military. To be honest, the more I think about it, and I have put a lot of thought into it over the past couple of weeks, the more it sounds like my best option right now. I really want to learn to fly a helicopter, and I'm willing to put my life on the line in order to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is probably turning out to be a long video at this rate, so thank you so much for sticking around. Guys and gals, until next time, au revoir.